to do a diet review with you guys, okay? And this is a very practical exercise, and I think it's very important because your diet, and what I mean by that today is your diet is everything that you consume, okay? Not just food and drink, okay? It's everything that you consume. So for the most part, we've got a hold on our food and drink, but we forget about the other stuff, right? There's 5 senses: touch, smell, taste, hear, and see, right? For the most part, your food and your drink and your exercise, they cover smell, touch, and taste, right? But your senses of seeing and hearing are very underestimated and never really talked about when it comes to weight loss, right? Everybody thinks I'm just going to work out, I'm going to restrict my eating, and I'm going to lose weight, right? Yes, that works, but if you're in it for the long run and general health and lasting health, you got to incorporate all 5 senses into this diet that you are on to make sure that this lasts forever. It's easier, it happens quicker, and you're covered from all angles, okay? So let's dive into our diet review of our seeing and our hearing senses, okay? So first and foremost, let's just start with like the easiest basic one you ladies know: television, okay? So take a second, and I want you to think about how many hours per week do you watch TV? So put it in the comments, how many hours per week are you watching TV? So be honest, depending on how busy your week is, I'm sure it's more or less, but generally, how many hours of TV are you watching? TV is like cable, satellite, movies, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, all of that. So how many hours per week are we watching TV, okay? Now, when you are watching TV, ladies, what is it that you are watching? What is your go-to? Write it in the comments. What is the go-to that we are watching when we're watching television? All right, is it reality TV? Is it dramas, soap operas, documentaries, comedy shows, whatever? What are you watching, okay? Now, the thing that you are choosing to watch, the thing that you're choosing to spend your energy consuming, okay, is it helping you? So is it helping you to be positive? Is it helping you to grow personally, to learn something? Or is it not? Is it either hindering you, or is it neutral, or is it positive? Which one? Is it bad? So negative, positive, or neutral? Negative, positive, or neutral? The choices you are choosing with TV. Usually it's negative or neutral, right? Why? Because when we're tired at the end of the day, we don't really want to consume a documentary or a TED Talk, right? We kind of want to zone out. So keep that in mind, ladies. Keep that in mind. Is this bringing something to light, right? Is the TV you're watching actually hindering you, right? And if it's neutral, can we change it to positive? Okay, so there's one area we need to hone in on: TV and media and advertising and commercials and all this stuff. Huge conscious and subconscious influence on us, but you have control over where your attention goes. When it comes to TV, the shows that you watch are either going to hurt or hinder you. If they are neutral, they are still hurting you because they're not helping you. Okay? So keep that in mind with your television. Now, let's take it a step further. Let's go to our cell phones, everybody's favorite little pocket partner. So let's do per day. Per day, how much time do you think you spend on your cell phone? For whatever it's for, how much hours per day on your cell phone? Is it just half an hour before bed? Are you on it for work all day? What do we think? Just give me a general ballpark. Are you playing games? Are you on social media? Are you messaging? Are you emailing? Are you phone calling? What are we doing on these phones? And phones could be like your tablets as well, tablets and iPads. Okay. Now, of the things that you are doing, what is it mostly? So when you're on your phone, when you pull it out, you unlock it, what is the first thing that you're usually going to? What is it? Is it a game? Is it an app in social media? Is it an email? Where is it? Is it Fit Queen? I like that. Cool. So here's the thing. Let's clean this up, okay? Because I think we can all say that we spend too much time on our phone, right? Too much. Even if it's 5 extra minutes, we can cut down somewhere, right? So the biggest thing you can do to do this in this diet review we're doing to make your phones a healthier influence is, number 1, deleting your apps. Okay, so take a second and think of how many apps, how many icons are actually on your phone. Okay, do we have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, what else? I mean, Pinterest, right? Do we have a million games? Do we have a bunch of different messaging, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, text messaging, this? What are all the apps, and how many can you get rid of that if they were gone tomorrow, life would still go on? You'd still survive. How many, right? And then I would suggest deleting them all. Because guess what? If they're there, you will click it. It is a fast, instant click, right? So if you need this stuff, what can you do? You don't have to uninstall some of the apps. Like, sure, if you play like, brain teasers sometimes on your phone, right? You don't have to uninstall the app, but you can delete the icon. And what does that do? That makes you, if you want to play it, you got to open up your app store. You got to type it in. You got to search it. Then you got to open it, right? It's this extra step that in the moment, if you're just doing something to pass the time, you probably won't do it, right? Same with social media. Delete your Facebook icon. Delete your Instagram icon. Why? You didn't delete your account. You just have to go into Google Chrome or go into Safari, type it in Google, log in, and then you're in. It's these extra steps that are going to deter us from just wasting time on it, right? Consuming things that we don't need to consume. Does that make sense, ladies? So ask yourself, I guarantee there's at least one app on our phone that doesn't need to be there, right? Probably more than just one. Now, of those apps, in the comments, write what is it most of? So the apps on your phone, what is it the most of? Is it social media? Is it work related? Is it game related? What do you think it is? So write in the comments, which one is it, okay? And then I want you to tell me if it's social media or if it's games, do they hinder you or does it help you? Is it positive, negative, or neutral? And to answer this question, you say, when you're done using that app, how do you feel? How does it make you feel? So if it's like an Instagram account, after you're done using it, do you feel like crap about yourself because you just scrolled through all these Instagram models, right? If it's Facebook, did you just scroll through your news feed and feel like crap because some of your relatives made a nasty comment on one of your pictures, right? So of the majority of time on your phone, are they helping or hindering you? How do you feel when you're done with them, right? So everybody, after this call, you can pick one icon and delete it. Not necessarily uninstall it, just delete it, right? And then you can take it a step further, and I told a couple Fit Queens about this, but this is a really cool tool. So what you can do is, and I believe it's a Google Chrome download, a Google Chrome extension. So you just type it into Google, Newsfeed Eradicator. All right, so type in Google Newsfeed Eradicator, and basically all that it does, you download it, and it will erase your newsfeed on Facebook. So that way, when you go onto Facebook on your desktop or your laptop, your newsfeed is blocked. It's not erased or deleted, it's blocked. You don't see anything. You just see if you want to make a status or not, right? So that's helpful if you want to just go to the Fit Queen community group and not see all the politics or the ads or the crazy people posting that you can't delete because you'll start World War III, right? So go through that, right? That's something else. If you are consuming a lot of Facebook, okay, guaranteed it's not always healthy. There's a lot of people that express weird things on Facebook. Facebook's a weird place. There's a lot of oversharers, right? So Newsfeed Eradicator, that is another thing in your corner to not cheat on this part of your diet, this part of what you're consuming, right? So the phone side of things, the desktop side of things. So if you were to go on your desktop or your laptop, ladies, in the comments, what would like the past 3 things in your history say? If we looked at your history and you didn't delete it yet, what do you think would it be? Is it YouTube videos? Is it a shopping site that you were browsing through? Is it social media? Is it the news? What would it be, right? Is it emails? All that stuff, right? Ask yourself, do those help? Do those hinder? Do I really need to check that site that many times a day, right? Ask yourself, what have I bookmarked on my computer? What do I have shortcuts to? Is that too easy? Is YouTube a bookmark? Doesn't need to be, right? Is this shopping site a bookmark so I can hear the latest sales? Doesn't need to be, right? What are the bookmarks, right? Do you need to change that? Even news-wise, right? Who's a news watcher? Is anybody like an intense news watcher? So be very careful with your news, right? Losing weight, being healthy is all about balance, right? Are you only getting your news from one source, right? You get biased opinions. Are you spreading out different news networks, different websites, however you want to look at it, right? Balance out. As Fit Queens, you make informed educational decisions and you form educational opinions, right? So make sure that what you are exposing yourself is balanced, right? Political site, news sites, these can really get you jaded very quickly and give you a very biased opinion, right? If you're a liberal, go on some conservative sites. If you're conservative, go on some liberal sites. Not to change your opinion, just to make sure you're balanced. Just to make sure you're not like one of those people that just spout their opinions at everybody, right? Without listening, right? It comes in every sense. Weight loss is all about balance. The senses of seeing and hearing are all about balance. Have you been balancing those senses? Probably not as best as you could, right? So that's your phone. That's your desktop. Music we can even go into. What type of music do you listen to? What's your favorite genre? Put it in the comments. What's our favorite music genre? This says a lot about a person. You're telling me a lot. Oldies, I love it. Country, Punjabi, yes. Christian, yep. Cool, okay. So music-wise, here's a big one. So we tend to pick music based on our mood, right? Like when we're in a sad mood, what do? We crank some ballad in our car and we cry with the music cranked, right? So we tend to choose music that matches our mood, but music can change our mood, right? Are you torturing yourself by continuously playing sad songs with bad memories, angry songs, degrading lyrics, melodies that make you feel melancholy, right? You all know that type of melody you hear that makes you just not feel too good or makes you feel tired or makes you feel sad, right? Are you torturing yourself with the wrong music, right? Are you not feeding yourself with the hearing sense properly, right? So it goes as deep as the music. Environment-wise, what's going on in your household, right? Is it clean? Is it dirty? Is it loud? Is it quiet? How are you feeding those two senses that we always miss out on, right? They matter. Doesn't matter how healthy you're eating. If your household is loud, you don't have time to think to yourself. If your household is dirty, you don't have room to meal prep. All that stuff, it compiles. If you don't have all five senses in check, then we start to go downhill. Makes upholding the other three we're focusing on really challenging if we can't balance it, because that's what it's all about with the other two, right? And then we can even go even further and talk about our friends, right? So friend-wise, if I had to say your closest circle, ladies, who are your closest friends? Put them in the comment. Name like your top 3 closest friends. Who are they? Is it a best friend? Is it a coworker? Is it a sister? What are our best friends? What's like your close-knit circle? So write that in the comments. And then I want you to write, how much time per week would you spend communicating with these people? Do you call them like an hour every night? Do you touch base once a week, once a month? How often per week are we communicating with these people in total, do you think? How many hours would we say? And same idea. Once you are done communicating with these people, how does it make you feel? Are you drained? Are you down on yourself? Are you questioning yourself? Do you feel bad about yourself, or do you feel positive? Did you have a good time? Do you feel rejuvenated? How do you feel? Are these people energy vampires, right? Listening to people complain all the time. Listening to people saying, you already look good. Don't lose more weight. Why won't you have this? Why won't you do this? Right? That's draining. That doesn't help you, right? Does it hinder or help? That hinders you. So are there people in your life that you need to limit your exposure to? Are there people in your life that you need to expose yourself more to, right? There's a positive side things too, right? Are there people that you haven't been talking to just because life got in the way and you should reconnect with because they do make you feel good when you get off the phone or FaceTime or text, right? Goes both ways. So that's something to consider too, ladies. So if you're going to commit to a weight loss journey, if you're going to commit to being healthy once and for all, and you're going to put the attention into eating properly, you better be putting the equal amount of energy into making sure your environment's on point, right? If you're taking time to meal prep every week, you have to environment prep every week, right? Doesn't that sound cool? If you're gonna meal prep, you gotta environment prep, right? If you're missing 2 out of 5 senses, that's 40% of your senses that you are not putting in the right mindset. You're not taking care of. That means you're only ever focusing on 60%, which means you'll only ever reach 60% of your potential. Isn't that crazy? Like, you're putting in way too much effort, ladies, to be only reaching 60% of your potential. Am I right? Hell no, right? That's unacceptable. 60%? No way. You're working too hard. You deserve 100. And that means you have to include everything. You want 5 out of 5 senses catered to, 5 out of 5 senses tweaked and perfected, so they all promote health, weight loss, happiness, rejuvenation, all of it. We are not only consciously do we pick up on things, but subconsciously we pick up on everything. Everything. Our brain, even though you're looking at me right now, your brain is scanning everything around you. It knows what's happening over here. It knows what's happening over there in your mind. So you better make sure it's clean over here. You got a motivational quote over here, right? What you're seeing and what you're hearing plays a huge role. Because if you fall off the wagon with your food, guess the easiest way to get back on? Just through seeing and hearing. Go on Instagram and look for healthy recipes. See the healthy food. Don't open your Instagram and look through desserts. That's flirting with disaster. Look through the healthy food so you're excited about it. You want to try something new. Put on a motivational podcast. Read a motivational quote by hearing it out loud. That's the easiest way. Catering to those 2 senses is the easiest way to get you back on track with your food, which is generally the hardest part long term, because we just feel like giving up or living in extremes again and going all in or all out, right? Make a vision board. Post things on your fridge. Post things on your bathroom mirror, right? Make notes in your phone of your favorite quotes, of bad habits that you're realizing as they come about. Should I watch this TV show? Should I change news stations, right? Should I limit my exposure to this person? Should I call this person more often? Right, ladies? These 2 senses are so underestimated. This is where you get all your longevity from. If you're constantly seeing and hearing positivity, what would ever make you feel negative? Nothing except your own mind, which creeps in every now and then. But guess what? If you see it, you'll start to believe it faster, and you'll get out of your own mind faster because of this. So if you don't want to live at 60% of your potential and struggle to stay on a diet the rest of your life, struggle to eat healthy the rest of your life, you've got to focus on another area, and that other area is your entire diet, your holistic diet. What are you consuming with all 5 senses? That's where you're missing. That's where if you're in a place where you're wondering, why can't I stop snacking? Why am I overeating? Why am I craving so much? Why can't I stick to something? If you ever feel those thoughts, it's because that's the only place your focus has been, and you are forgetting about your 2 other senses that lead the other senses. They lead the other. You're not going to just be excited to eat a salad every day, right? But if you see and hear people talking about how great it feels when they get all their vegetables in, right? How great it feels when they get their workouts in, you're going to want to do it. That's why the Fit Queen community is so cool, right? Because how many times have you opened it and said, oh, crap, she did her workout today. Damn it, now I have to do my workout today, right? Or damn it, she lost 3 pounds. Damn it, now she's lower than me, and you get mad, right? You're like, damn it, I gotta catch it back up, right? That's what's so important, because you're seeing and you're hearing. The Fit Queen community, the health, these women of like minds, that's catering to the seeing and hearing, right? So completely dive in, immerse yourself in that community. Create that type of community in your life as well, with your family, with your environment, with your friends, with the TV you're watching, the podcasts you're listening to, the music you listen to, right? Your history on your computer. check these things and see, where am I falling short? Or have I even been considering these two? Have I been hyper-focused on my food for too long? And am I stuck there? Am I in a rut there? Maybe take your focus off of there and focus on reorganizing and restructuring those other two senses in your life. Maybe that's the problem, right? Is there like a weird color in your kitchen that puts you in a weird mood when you want to eat? So then if you're already in a bad mood, then you see this color, then you go to the fridge, right? Like all these perfect storm things add up to making the wrong decision in a weak moment. But if you're always working on the five senses, the perfect storm of bad things won't affect you all the time, or won't affect you as deeply. Especially if you're always seeing and hearing positivity. You'll want to. You'll be in a little bit of competition with yourself and the people around you. And you'll realize that it's not just about the food. It's not just about the number on the scale, right? Those are the things that happen when you surround yourself with the right environment, with the contagious positivity. When you surround yourself with that, and if that's the majority of what you're exposed to every day, how can you not make the right decision? Think about a time where you made a very bad decision, where you fell off really hard. What were you exposed to in that moment? What caused it? Bad mood, bad day, bad environment, bad music, bad friend who made a comment, something negative crept in, and you didn't have anything else positive as a safeguard because you missed that part. You thought, if I just ate healthy, I'll get excited, I'll see results, and that's enough to keep me motivated. But when you fall off and you miss the eating healthy, where does your motivation go? If that's where you put all your eggs in one basket. Right? So if you're taking anything away from this call, ladies, it's put your eggs in all these baskets, right? Just as much energy as you're putting into meal prep, you got to environment prep. Have you done that? Have you done it lately? Do you need to go back and audit it? Do a review. That's what today was. Are you watching crappy reality TV too much? Are you playing too many games or being on social media too much? Right? Are your friends negative? Is your music sad? Is your environment disorganized and loud? Right? All these areas, everything you see, everything you hear, it needs to be a higher percentage positive for it to outweigh all the negative that comes in every day. All the stuff that comes up out here in your head, the negative thoughts that come every day, like maybe I'll have one bite, or is this ever going to work? Am I worth it? Those pop up every now and then, plus a negative comment from a coworker, plus maybe your jeans aren't fitting the way you want them today, right? Plus maybe your meal didn't taste as good as you thought it would, right? All of these things, if they pile up and create that perfect storm, you're in danger unless you've strengthened your seeing and your hearing to be positive. Does that make sense, ladies? Love it. Okay, so really quickly in the comments, I want you to write what your takeaway is and what are you going to do? So after this diet review, what did you realize that you kind of have to shift a little bit? Or are you really falling short in one area? Have you been completely ignoring this area? Have you been focusing on it lately? Maybe you've thought of a good idea of how to incorporate it more. Excuse me, what's going through your mind? And what are you going to change when we get off this call? What are we going to change? Let me see it. Yes. Yes. Just go back, even on your phone. Go back and look at, you know how you can either press the home button or swipe up? Look at all the tabs that are open. Check all the tabs that are, what are they? It's not usually not emails. It's usually a bunch of games and a couple social medias, right? Check it like that. So one thing, ladies, what I want you to take away and what I want you to do right now, what's one thing that you are going to change going forward that's going to take into consideration your seeing and your hearing sense? What is the one thing that you know you can do better at in regards to those two things? What is that? That's up for you to decide. It's up for you to take action tonight on that. Is it, I'm setting a limit on the TV I'm watching, right? Is it I'm deleting this app? I'm installing the newsfeed eradicator on my laptop. Whatever it is it I have to talk to my mom every week, but she's a really negative influence. Am I going to cut it down to a 20-minute phone call instead of a 2-hour phone call, right? Whatever that means for you, You have to do it. If you forget about this part, it will become exhausting, and you will get to a point where you get in this rut and this cycle of where you only go like, you start getting this pattern of, I can eat really good for a week, then I fall off, then another week, and then I fall off. And you get some type of extreme eating pattern that you fall into when all you're doing is focusing on eating, right? So if you find yourself binging, craving, late night snacking, falling off because you tell yourself just one bite and then you go overboard. If you find yourself running into those habits more frequently, or the pattern of good week, bad week, good week, bad week, you're focusing too much on making the food perfect. It's driving you nuts. You're going nowhere with it. You got to focus on the other two sentences. You're not hearing enough to make this you're not hearing enough to push you in the right direction. You're not seeing the right things to make you want to do the right thing. All right, ladies? So do what you got to do. Start to environment prep just like you'd meal prep. Set yourself up for success with all 5 senses, and you will get stuck way less often. And you will just be a more happy person because there's so much around you that motivates you and excites you instead of just pure willpower and being strong on the hard days.